All right, drinking coffee here in the morning, and what better time to do Acid Archives Diary entry with a favorite record of mine, the patron saint's Foho Bohob.
Once grew a flower, the prettiest of the lot. Some tried to pick the flower in the garden. One finally did and placed her in a pot. She was neglected by her fellow flowers, and so she lived contentedly on her own, until a time when she was no longer watered, and from then on she would moan and groan alone.
Alright, so this is the LP we're going to talk about, as well as another record by the songwriter, one of the songwriters in this band, Eric Bergman, both in the Acid Archives Diaries. Or I should say, both in the Acid Archives. Foho Bohob by the Patron Saints. Reissue of the original pressing from 1969, which was done privately in an edition of only 100 copies. And these guys were in the Mount Kisco area, I believe it is, upstate New York, just outside of New York. And it's sort of an interesting one because it's not really psychedelic so much. It's kind of, as you're hearing, this is the record, sort of self-taught, like folky, a little inept, a little slack, a little loose, very ahead of its time. This is like something bands in the 90s would be imitating, and there's something really endearing about this record. The vocals might throw some people off. The songs might, they sample with different little styles here and there. There's like a little bit of a slight ragtime song, or a slight a couple things that maybe might not seem like they'll go over well on first listen. But something about their approach with it really is, like I said, endearing. And it's got a real homemade feel. Now, the original is very rare, obviously. Very rare. I've never seen it come up for sale. I've never seen it in person. Like I said, there's only 100. And what a great cover. This is the Time Lag reissue, which replicates the cover and replicates the original booklet, and is supposed to include a 7-inch, but apparently, I think I gave that away. Now, a bunch of years ago, I wrote to Time Lag, and I was like, I want to buy as many copies of this reissue as possible, because it was cheap. No one cares, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't care for this record, but the few that do are as enthusiastic about it as me. I'm thinking about George and Angry Mom. But I wrote to Time Lag, and I'm like, hey, what's the best deal you can give me on like 5 copies? And they sent me, I think they gave them to me for like $5 to $8 each. And I've sent some around. So some of you got copies of this, and I don't know if anyone was enthusiastic about this. I won't name names. You know if you got one. Anyway, Time Lag replicated the original booklet insert that it came with, which has the lyrics in it. And like thank you notes, all the lyrics are here. Who are the Patron Saints? It's mainly the two guys, Eric Bergman and John Tuttle. Recorded at Dalton Domicile, the house of the drummer Paul Dalton, from the end of June to the middle of July 1969. The cover artwork is by Jonathan Tuttle, one of the songwriters. And I don't know much what they did with this, but it probably just sunk. They probably just gave it to friends. Foho Bohob is a phrase common to many of the various small tribal languages of Africa. It means, in effect, or roughly translated, greetings of the mouth. And they played all kinds of stuff on this: auto harp, banjo, washboard, maracas, cowbells, woodblock tambourines. It has a very acoustic feel to it. There's not really any psychedelic moves on this. It's really more associated with psychedelia just because of the time. But what I love about it are the songs. They're really catchy, and there's something really beautiful and innocent about them. They probably were in their late teens. And I just love this. This reissue is probably still cheap. You'll never see the original. Let's see. Yeah, very much an outsider, but these guys weren't like cool. I don't get the idea that these guys were cool by any stretch. You know, a lot of good hooks on this. Primitive, earnest, and like I said, very innocent. They recorded this on a reel-to-reel at this house in 1969. Apparently Paul's parents were away, and so they had like 3 weeks to do it in the summer. Yeah, just free of pretense and great. I just love the sound and the overall feel of it. Very DIY and home recorded, and yeah, I just listen to this record so much. Yeah, some cool lyrics. I'll read that one. This is Nostalgia Trip, I think. I walked through a field today and smelled the heavens wind. 'Twas warm and dark and cloudy gray, and here your mind begins to die of joy.
I walked through a field today and smelled the heavens wind. 'Twas warm and dark and cloudy gray, and here your mind begins to die of joy. Take me back 1,000 years, spread my soul through time. Let me view the present and the past, love it 'cause it's mine.
Something about like 18, 19-year-olds singing these songs is, like I said, super endearing. These guys obviously didn't do very much after this. However, Eric Bergman did make a record that I got this year called Modern Phonography. This I got a great deal on. It's on the Patron Saint label, and it's from where they recorded this, Pleasantville, New York. This is from 1978, and it kind of continues in the same way. There's a lot more slide guitar in this, a lot more folk rock, I'd say. But the record has a DIY feel to it. Again, it opens up like this, and this is not as good, but I love it. And someone put this up for $8.99 on Discogs, and this can sell for $40, $50, $60. I snapped it when I saw it. So it has a similar charm, similar appeal as the Foho Boha by the Patron Saints. I believe this is all Eric Bergman recording. I could be wrong. This is, all recorded in the same area, upstate New York, Garrison, Keechawaan, New York. He plays a lot. Now there are other people on this. I don't know if John Tuttle's on it though, but another part of the chapter of the Patron Saints. There would be reissue campaigns. I do have CDs that have like alternate takes of the Foho Boha songs. Here's this very DIY label for the Modern Phonography. I just love these guys. I just don't know how many people out there really share the same interest as I do. But yeah, Bergman recorded this in '78. There's another solo record of his in '82. Yeah, like I said, this one's a little more, has some acid rock to it too, actually. So 2 records essentially by the family of Patron Saints. I mean, this is the real one to take home if you don't know this. Check out there's 2 different reissues of this. The Time Lag is the one to get from Portland, Maine, because they've reproduced this beautifully, and it includes a 7-inch, which apparently I lost. Maybe I gave it away. I gave many copies of this away. Both are in the Acid Archives. At one point when I was obsessed with this record, well, I've had this for many years, around 2020, 2021, I was listening to it constantly and doing a lot more research on it. There's not that much more to tell, but that's when I bought all those copies and sent them around. Okay, let's see. P for Patron. Some are going to hear this and be like, this sucks. But others are going to be like, I need it. It's like that. Patron Saints. New York. Foho Bohob. 1969. No label. Rarity 4. This is Patrick Lundborg. A truly unique trip and hard to describe, but it's atmospheric, real people, college dorm, folk singer, singer-songwriter, with an array of influences ranging from ragtime to 40s schlager sentimentality to hippie confusion. Doesn't sound too good, right? Like tuning into a radio station from another world. Well written, amazing and deep. You need to hear it. Member Eric Bergman has confirmed the original pressing as 100 copies. Note hidden message along the borders of the back sleeve. There are also 2 releases of unreleased material, Proto, Fohob, and Latimer sessions. I have those on CD. I just don't have them here with me. Yeah, there's hidden messages around the perimeter of this. We're not going to try to read that, but anyway, that's the Patron Saints. For Bergman, it's a pretty short entry. Under B. It is in here. Let's see. Betty from California. Bhagavan Das. Nice. John Barbarian. Eric Bergman. Modern Phonography, 1978 on the Patron Saint label. Apparently 500 pieces they think made of that. Rarity 1. Lost basement folk and folk rock sound from leader of Patron Saints with slide guitar and some acoustic solo tracks. There is also a second LP from 82, Sending Out Signals. That's what we have to say. From the Acid Archives. Yeah. Let me know what you think. If anyone's a super fan of this as I am, you know, I'd like to hear about it. And if anyone has a copy of the original pressing, let me know. Also this one. I got this year. This is a great find, though, for $8.99, literally. It's in totally fine shape, obviously. So, that's it. The Patron Saints, Acid Archives, Die.
We both had castle walls around our hearts. So soon walls collapsed in tiny parts. But learn from it, it is how loving starts. Andrea, as for today, both know it's a fickle thing. Forget the past, there's nothing it can bring. Let me shelter you beneath my wing. Please, please stop and listen to me. I'm trying hard to say how I feel and help you to see.